Mayor Adams called out specific examples of hate speech, such as a young woman holding a sign with an arrow pointed to Jewish students saying, sorry, wrong. Jewish students, those weren't just a random group of Jewish students. Those were people waving Israeli flags. Try again. Those students might have been Jewish. I don't know. How can you tell by looking at somebody whether or not they're Jewish? It's like an ethnic, cultural, and religious signifier. You know, how do you, like, but in addition to that, it wasn't just like a random group of Jews. They were doing something that led to them being targeted with that sign. You know, waving the flag of a nation currently engaging in a genocide. I do think that the sign the girl had went too far. Do you disagree? Okay, Exel, let me put it this way. Okay, I think the sign was bad optics, but also, like, if there were a bunch of students on a college campus back in 2003 who were in support of America, like there was an anti-Iraq war protest, and then there were some counter-protesters who were waving American flags and saying, like, yeah, fuck them, yeah, invade them, yeah, fuck invade the Middle East, and some guy was holding a sign saying, like, Saddam's next targets or whatever. Would you, like, I feel like in any other context we would identify this for what it is, which is mocking pro-war people, you know? It's the media's dishonest attempts to make it about, like, yeah, they were pointing to just Jewish students. You notice how, I'm sorry, where was that link? Yeah, notice how a young woman holding a sign with an arrow pointing to Jewish students stating Al-Qassam's next targets, they don't even mention the Israeli flags. The way these dishonest hacks in the media talk about it, the way these liars talk about it, they're just like, oh yeah, it was just a random group of Jewish students, which if that was the case, that would be anti-Semitic as fuck, right? Like, why are you going after Jews? What do Jews have to do with it? You know, why are you doing that, you know? But of course they're lying. They're waving the fucking Israeli flags. That's why. It's a counter-protest for genocide. That is why they are doing that. Like, why is she standing here? Look at what they're doing. What, do I know this person's Jewish? I don't, who knows? Do you think that she, like, went up there and asked, hey, are you Jewish? Hey, are you Jewish? Hey. And if these were all, like, non-Jews, then she would have, like, not, you know, like, oh, this is fine, actually. Idiotic. The media is lying to you. Vaush, I think this is a really bad take. I don't understand. It's an anti-war protest, and then there are people there being pro-war, and then they're there waving flags indicating that they're pro-war. So you say, oh yeah, they're the ones they're going to go after next. I feel like versions of this have happened so many different times in so many different conflicts. I don't understand, like, we all agree at the very least that the media is objectively lying by framing it as though the reason that they were being pointed to was because they're Jewish and not because they were waving Israeli flags, right? Like, that is an obvious lie. Okay, yeah. Also, to be perfectly honest, I don't really get, when I hear about people condemning a protest, I'm usually looking for, like, indications that the protest itself has gone bad. You can take individual photos of people being cringe in literally any environment. Like, literally any environment. Like, BLM protests, like, wow, you found a guy with a sign saying, like, kill all whiteys, you know, great, phenomenal, that's bad, you know, but that's always what they do to delegitimize protests like this, you know? Well, funny rhetorician, Israel wants to associate Israel and Jewish people. They've been doing that for decades. Like, that's a deliberate strategy. Benjamin Gilbert Liff, what I am telling you is the sign probably was wishing for violence. So is waving Israeli flags at a pro-Palestinian protest. What do you think you're saying by waving an Israeli flag in that context? You're saying continue the genocide. Like, both of those are calls for violence. Both of those are expressions of support for violence. Though, of course, those waving the Israeli flags want, you know, more J-dams to incinerate, like, infants down there in Rafah, whereas the person holding the sign just wants warmongers and genociders pointed to. Anyway, is there anything else here? Literally just that? Another woman, where a woman is literally yelling, "We are Hamas." Okay? Or another where groups of students are chanting, "We don't want no Zionists here." This is how fucking cooked the discourse is. Eric Adams, the mayor of one of the largest cities in the world, is saying that this is an example of hate speech. We don't want no Zionists here. This is objectively not hate speech. Like, this is absolutely undeniably not hate speech. But it's being framed as such. Like, and the media, ABC News, is just reporting it with no, like, critical engagement, you know? Insane.